Greetings and salutations, people. Noob Dad here with the first of a new series that I mentioned before called Real Talk. The first Real Talk, what I'd like to talk about is pregnancy from the male perspective. As you all know, the reason why I'm called Noob Dad is because I am a dad, and one of the things I like to talk about is the actual pregnancy. Obviously, we don't experience it as males, although I look pregnant. I assure you, I am actually not. Okay, but anyway, for people who don't know me, I'm married to Hannah. We've been married for a couple of years, we've been together about 9 years as well. When she became pregnant, everything was progressing well until about 10-11 weeks, where the morning sickness kicked in. There is a reason why I'm saying morning sickness, but we'll come to that later. But anyway, things progressed. We thought, okay, this morning sickness thing is kicked in. We expected it, that's fine. Hannah worked as a nurse, so she was going out to her job. I was going to my other job, and my wife Hannah just actually gave me a call from work and said, I really need you home. So I came home. She hadn't kept anything down, and unfortunately she'd actually vomited quite a lot that day. It wasn't just morning sickness, it was all day sickness. The Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton, which is Kate Wills, whatever her name is these days, actually was in hospital. She was hospitalised with Prince George when she was pregnant with a condition called Hyperemesis gravidarum, or HD for short, or Hyperemesis. Okay, now unfortunately Hannah had the same thing, but we didn't know what it was at that time, and because we didn't know what it was at that time, and the newspapers and the news outlets were actually reporting it as morning sickness instead of all day all night really extreme sickness. Okay, that's what Hannah thought it was, and unfortunately Hannah said, well, it's only a bit of morning sickness, like you would do, because when you get pregnant you expect to have morning sickness. But when she told me she'd been sick 15 times, she couldn't even keep water down, we knew something was serious. We took her to hospital and she was hospitalised. She was put on a drip. Now, I didn't know what to make of this, because I'm sure the guys who were actually watching, the male part of my audience who are watching, who have had kids or who are going to have kids, or even if you don't, we have a natural tendency to want to fix things. The problem is when we can't fix things, we get frustrated. We get argumentative, and we argue with our partners, or we misdirect it to people who don't deserve it. I don't know whether I've ever apologised to Hannah for doing that, but if I haven't, Hannah, if you ever see this, I am very, very sorry for the way that I was in the beginning when I didn't know what it actually was. But the thing is, and the most difficult thing about that condition is we can't do anything about that condition. It happens, and unfortunately there are different side effects, different ways people cope and things like that with the hyperemesis. So unfortunately sometimes people have to be hospitalised, and in very unfortunate cases people do lose their babies or even their spouses, and I feel very fortunate to have both a healthy daughter and a wife who survived it, and they're both come out the other side. Very fortunate indeed, whereas others aren't, and for that I'm very, very grateful, especially to the staff of Barnsley District General Hospital. Thank you. If any of you ever see this, I'll tell you something, a lot of NHS staff do get bad press, but you know something, never come across a better team of people to look after my family, so thank you very much as well. But anyway, back to what we were talking about, the hyperemesis. So yeah, Hannah had to have a drip. She had to have vitamins and minerals in that drip, because she wasn't able to actually keep any water or any food down at all, which was a very, very scary time, especially for somebody who likes eating like I like my food as well. But it's very, very scary, and we were constantly worrying, thinking that we were going to lose our little girl. And yeah, it does upset me still, even to this day, how it was then that we could have lost her. And I had very supportive bosses at work, just in case they're watching as well. Hi Ria, hi Wayne, and hi to Becky as well, who always had my back and changed my schedule whenever I needed it, so thank you as well. And hi Mike. And also as well, I had a very good bunch of mates who actually talked to me and allayed my fears and said that Hannah was in the best place, which she really was, but at the time we didn't really think of it that way. Well, I didn't think of it that way because I just wanted my wife home with me. But yeah, we actually found out that with Hyperemesis, the best things that you can have is a good support system of people who will always kind of monitor your spouse and also make sure that they're eating and drinking okay. If they can't eat, at least drinking or getting some fluids in them. We found that unfortunately one of the reasons why pregnant women do get tired, especially in early pregnancy, is because the baby's lynching a lot of the nutrients from them. And if you have hyperemesis, you're not replacing those nutrients because you're not eating at all. So as long as you keep hydrated, you'll both be alright. But the mother, it does take a toll on the mother as well. It definitely takes a toll. But also, what I didn't understand as well is that the midwives would tell me that as long that Hannah vomiting is actually a good sign as well, because it's a healthy pregnancy. But anyway, after a few days, Hannah was released when she could keep some water down and when she could also eat. So went back to work, happy days. Hannah's home, baby's still okay. A couple of days later, the phone call again, you need to come home. So I thought, okay, here we go again. Go to the hospital, hospitalised again, rinse and repeat. This happened a further 2 times until she got to about 30 weeks. And from there, it was okay. Now, like I said, I feel very fortunate that the killer came on the other side. Some people have it all the way to the end of the pregnancy. Some people don't. Some people just have it for a few weeks and that's it. But it's a very scary time. And I think that any woman who goes through pregnancy, any pregnancy, is brave and courageous. But anyone who has hyperemesis is even more so, because of all of the arduous things that they've got to deal with. So yeah, what we can do, well, what I've talked about so far is what I've not been able to do, what I couldn't do, but what can we do? One of the things we can do for our partners is talk to them, make sure they're alright, make sure they're fed and watered. I know it sounds something stupid, especially if you're independent, but just make sure at the end of the day your partner will appreciate it as well. At the end of the day, they're doing you a massive favour. They've got to go through the childbirth, they've got to go through the puking. We don't. We're lucky in that respect. Now, another thing that helped me and Hannah get through this and get some semblance of control back in the pregnancy that we felt we'd lost was hypnobirthing. We met who's now a family friend, Jo, or as we affectionately call her around here, Auntie Jojo, and she introduced us to hypnobirthing. Now, if you want to know anything more about hypnobirthing, you can click the link here, that one there. Okay, it's going. Okay, it's gone. So anyway, so we did the hypnobirthing, went through the course. And that wasn't the end of the troubles from Miss K. No. She wanted to come early, so it was actually after a day out where we got a bit stressed out with a shot clock in Dixon's. Sorry, not Dixon's, Curry's. But anyway, that's by the by. We felt that Caitlin wasn't moving. Now Caitlin was an active baby. She wasn't moving, and because she wasn't moving, when got checked out, did some tests and found out that she was coming early, so we had to, they didn't have any spaces in special care, unfortunately, because she would have had to go into special care, so we ended up going to Calderdale Royal Infirmary instead, which is where they actually took care of us really well, and managed to stop the labour, thank God, and she actually stayed and became a full-term baby. She was born at 37 weeks or so. She was actually only 5 days early from her due date, which was good, and she was healthy. Although she was a titch, she was 5'13", and yeah, she's healthy to this day, screaming the house down, giving the best smiles and cuddles ever as well. But yeah, pregnancy from a male perspective, it is difficult sitting back and knowing you can't do anything, but you know something. The certain bonding things that I did throughout pregnancy, you can bond more with your spouse, with your partner, wife, girlfriend, whoever it is. Go out, spend some time together. Just remember, it's going to be the last time you're going to have is you two, before there's a third person or a fourth or a fifth, depending on if you're having twins, triplets, or just a single one. Go out, enjoy each other's company, because it's going to be a lot more difficult on the other side. Rewarding, but difficult. Anyway, that's enough of my real talk, pregnancy from the male perspective. If you did like it, give us a subscribe and a like, and yeah, share. Question for you lot, what was your perspectives on pregnancy? Was there anything that, did you have any similarities to me and my family, or did you have something completely different? Anyway, place the comments in the space below. Any questions or anything like that, just put them below and I'll get around to answering them as soon as I can. Okay, so this is No Dad signing off for another episode of Real Talk, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.